Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John's reports for the 18th. Well, we're continuing to push towards new highs. Same story. We've had the improvement of the shakeout. We're still pretty much at this flat line here between the magenta and green with the Power Mode 2. You can see just a slight increase in separation. That should be enough to push things a little bit more forward. We're also seeing it with the rising steel. So the short-term buyers still doing their thing. And of course, cyan minus 54 versus a red 249. Cyan under red is always a buy. That doesn't mean I can't flip on a dime, because you notice now with the limited short interest, you're not getting rather large boost because it just isn't enough short covering to drive things. But you also don't have an impetus anywhere else because there's nowhere else to get the return other than maybe commodities like gold and that to make a difference. And of course, here we are with the euro now starting its new trend up and having been completely reset. No change from cyan under red, which began this whole rally that's continued. And again, this serves U.S. Fed purposes, and that not really changing any of that construct, because it definitely helps the U.S. in this awkward time, especially as we're seeing now actually a significant increase in shipping movement. So that means that people are still buying, because I know the U.S. Retail sales in that were through the roof. So you've definitely got goods being purchased, some of it obviously being subsidized. The question will be, though, if you're not getting added stimulus and still having lockdowns, how quickly that can shift, and will it happen just before the election? It doesn't look like there's going to be any change to the impasse at all, because there's no incentive. This is something we talked about at the beginning of the year, that because it's an election year, that things would become increasingly dicey as we ended up getting towards the middle part of the year. And now with conventions taking place, there just isn't anything that's going to be happening. Now you have this ridiculous fight over post office stuff. And it's all about the mail-in voting and altering the voting system. Gold making its move back up, because as the dollar gets devalued, gold has to rise, as well as the market in general, because they're not going to accept the devaluation of the market along with the dollar. It's got to inflate to make up for that discounted value. And so we saw mostly from the day, it was just straight up, and then it just plateaued going across. We made new highs here. A little bit of a positive extreme on this one, but we filled it right back in and turning around back now with cyan moving back below red. So all in all, it's fairly clean action from a broader context. The range still fairly decent from where we began the day, from 65s up to the 80s. So still getting decent enough of a range. It's just a little less volatile from an up down, because we are not seeing a significant amount of shorts at this particular point. I think some people have capitulated to the realization the Fed is almighty, and you cannot beat them. Unlimited bankroll always wins out. This is exactly why casinos do well. You have enough money, you can outlast all the short players, because they have what we call a short bankroll. And that works out every time. Of course, yes, you'll get the argument from people, well, the fundamentals, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's never been about what the market bases value on. So those arguments just don't hold water, never have. As always, though, I will update anything relevant on the Skype chat. Trade well. We'll talk to you later.